Historically, North Korea shimmered with promise. As it charted its economic trajectory, there were moments that bespoke prosperity and grand economic visions. The echoes of these ambitions still linger in its cultural and architectural vestiges. However, the course of its economic voyage has taken many a twist over the years. Today, the streets of Pyongyang radiate power with grandiose military parades. The elite, ensconced in luxury, are often showcased as symbols of the nation's supposed affluence, courtesy of state-controlled media. A crafted image of an unwavering, affluent nation is presented to the world. Yet when one delves deeper, the stark realities come to the fore. North Korea, under the weight of international sanctions and internal economic challenges, has found refuge in the shadows of illicit activities. While these clandestine endeavors serve the privileged, the everyday North Korean pays the price. Our exploration will shine a light on this contrast. How did North Korea's economic situation evolve to its current state? And more importantly, how has it impacted the very citizens it vows to cherish and protect? Join us as we journey through the hidden alleys of North Korea's economic narrative. In a world where the line between right and wrong often blurs, North Korea's descent into the criminal underworld provides a stark reminder of the lengths a nation might go to sustain its elite and maintain power. In the clandestine corridors of North Korea's illicit operations, the nation crafts a web of activities that display both brazen audacity and covert cunning. Each thread within this web unveils a story, revealing just how deep and extensive North Korea's ties to the criminal underworld run. Central to these criminal ventures is their involvement in the global drug trafficking circuit. North Korea is not merely a peripheral actor or a silent partner. It stands as a principal player in this ominous theater. Stretching across its territory, vast state-run opium farms flourish, testament to the scale of this operation. From these farms, narcotics are refined, packaged, and funneled into a vast global distribution network. This network is so expansive that North Korean narcotics find their way into desperate corners of the world, from the neon-lit alleyways of Bangkok to the remote hamlets of Eastern Europe. Parallel to their drug operations is the world of counterfeiting. North Korea has transformed this into an art form. Their replication of the US dollar isn't a mere facsimile, it is a masterpiece of deception. Crafted with impeccable precision, their counterfeit dollars have not only entered global circulation, but have also hoodwinked financial institutions on several occasions. Their proficiency in replicating one of the world's most secure banknotes establishes them as a juggernaut in the counterfeit industry. As we further unravel this intricate tapestry, we stumble upon tales that chill the bone, tales of human trafficking. For many, such narratives might seem like distant horrors, tales spun from lands far removed from their own. However, mounting evidence and persistent allegations highlight North Korea's grim role in this inhumane trade. Contrary to the stance of passive observership that many nations adopt, North Korea appears to be an active participant. Instead of curbing such activities, there are compelling indications that the state itself orchestrates these trafficking rings. Through this, they not only benefit monetarily, but also tighten their oppressive grip over their citizens, leveraging their desperation and vulnerability. In understanding North Korea's criminal ventures, it becomes evident that the nation's leadership has weaponized the very vices the world combats, morphing them into tools of economic sustenance and political control. Navigating North Korea's intricate labyrinth of illicit activities, one soon realizes the omnipresence of a puppeteer, its own government. The symbiosis between the state and these criminal undertakings is fascinating, albeit unsettling, a dance of overt orchestrations and discreet acquiescence. A significant portion of these illicit operations doesn't emerge spontaneously from the grassroots or rebel factions. They bear the hallmark of meticulous planning and orchestration by the state's apparatus. These aren't merely tolerated activities, they are, in many instances, state-sponsored and state-executed ventures. Delve into the details and the state's fingerprints are everywhere. From the meticulous cultivation of opium farms to the sophisticated replication of foreign currency, the state not only supervises but often manages the entire supply chain. Every step, from production to distribution, is overseen with hawk-eyed precision, ensuring maximum profitability and minimum leakage. However, the state's modus operandi isn't solely in the realm of overt control. Parallel to these directly controlled operations, there exists a gray zone, a space where certain activities flourish, not due to direct state sponsorship, but rather because of its calculated indifference. Here, certain operations which may be deemed too risky or unsavory for direct state involvement take root. But while the state might not be the gardener, it certainly enjoys the fruits. Through subtle nods and tacit approvals, the state allows these shadowy operations to persist. In return, these ventures bolster the state's finances, pouring in resources that, given the nation's international standing, might be hard to obtain through legitimate means. This duality in approach of direct orchestration and indirect tolerance showcases the state's adaptability and its unyielding quest for power and resources. The intertwining of the official machinery with the criminal underbelly reveals a government that is willing to blur, if not erase, ethical boundaries for its survival and dominance. Deep within the confines of North Korea lies an intricate tapestry of illicit operations that have profoundly impacted its economic facade. The sheer magnitude of these activities' financial implications is almost inconceivable. Rather than merely serving as an auxiliary source of funds, they are the very lifelines of the nation's economy. These operations not only fortify the regime's tenacity to endure international pressures, but also fuel the ostentatious lifestyles of its elite, making them symbols of opulence amidst a widespread deprivation. But the clandestine activities of North Korea are not restricted to drug trafficking and counterfeiting. In an unyielding pursuit of financial dominance, the North Korean regime has astutely employed extortion and bribery as tools of the trade. From coercing local entrepreneurs to strong-arming international businesses, the omnipotent shadow of the state ensures a steady flow of revenue into its coffers. Simultaneously, bribery serves as the cornerstone, allowing the clandestine operations to thrive in the shadows, away from the prying eyes of international watchdogs. Yet the repercussions of these covert endeavors transcend economic consequences and geopolitical maneuverings. At the heart of this quagmire are the ordinary North Korean citizens, tragically bearing the brunt of their leadership's ambitions. Heart-wrenching narratives of such citizens, like the naive farmer's child lured into the dark underbelly of the narcotics trade, or the young woman ensnared by human traffickers, illuminate the staggering human toll of these operations. On the societal spectrum, the aftermath is cataclysmic. Poverty, once a concern, now stands as an indomitable pillar of North Korean society. The elite's unabashed display of wealth stands in jarring contrast to the deprivation experienced by the populace, leading to a society riddled with stark inequalities. The drug trade, besides being a revenue source, introduces another menace, addiction, which gnaws at the very fabric of communities. Amidst this societal tempest, the North Korean elite live ensconced in unparalleled luxury. Their lives, characterized by extravagance, stand as a testament to the wealth siphoned from these covert undertakings. Our understanding of these clandestine operations is further bolstered by tangible evidence, with headlines consistently uncovering the regime's misdeeds, defector testimonies shedding light on the grim realities, and powerful visuals underscoring the societal dichotomy. Our narrative is amplified. In North Korea, where reality often intertwines with state propaganda, unearthing the truth from layers of deception becomes our paramount endeavor. At the crossroads of global power plays, North Korea's interactions with key nations shape not just its destiny, but influence global dynamics. With South Korea, their shared history is punctuated by a tense divide, marked by fluctuating relations, sometimes hopeful and often confrontational. Meanwhile, China emerges as North Korea's linchpin, serving as a primary ally, principal trade conduit, and an indispensable diplomatic shield against international censure. Russia's engagements with North Korea, though not as prominent, are noteworthy, spanning treaties to occasional standoffs, indicating a relationship of mutual pragmatism. However, the wider geopolitical theater paints a gripping narrative of a clash of ideologies. As the winds of Western democracy attempt to penetrate North Korea's fortified walls, they are met with the resolute bulwark of a dictatorial regime. This tussle between democratic aspirations and staunch dictatorship raises pivotal questions about North Korea's trajectory. Will the mounting international pressures act as catalysts, nudging North Korea towards much-needed economic or political reforms? Or will the hermit nation double down, further entrenching itself in isolation, sustaining its regime through its shadowy underworld and tightening its grip on its beleaguered citizens? The world watches with bated breath as the North Korean enigma unfolds.